walking side by side. Marriage matter, love's gonna lead the way. Faith unshaken, brighter every day. Marriage matter, stronger come what may. This is our story, this is our praise.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about a question that a lot of people ask, especially Christian singles and Christian couples. And the question is, how do I know if that person is the one? So today we're gonna take you guys through 4 steps that we, followed or that we went through in the process when we're figuring out are we the one for each other. Now, the thing is, in this world that we live today, falling in love is easy, but making the decision about a person to spend the rest of your life with is not a decision that should be taken like
Exactly. It's not
right.
a joke.
It's not a joke. It should be taken seriously because marriage is a lifetime commitment. It is not something that you try and if it doesn't work you can get out like the world thinks, right? But for us as Christian, this is it, right?
Yes.
We need our marriage to be, a long lasting marriage, a good marriage, a happy marriage. And remember that marriage matters to God. He wants us to be happy. He wants to have a good marriage. And that decision is so important that it is one that requires prayer, that requires wisdom and surrender in making that decision.
Yes. First thing we're gonna talk about for today is love, because love is very important
Yes.
in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Love is not really what you see. It's not the beauty, because the beauty is visible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask yourself that question.
Yes.
Can I see myself loving that person for my entire life?
Mm-hmm.
As Bible says, love is kind,
Mm-hmm.
love is patient, is always protect, always hopes,
Mm-hmm.
always persevere.
Yes.
Because when you ask those questions, that can help you to know if you really love that person no matter what happens in the future.
Yeah, can you do that? Yes.
Yes, as long as you can answer those questions, now you can step forward to step 2. The second point we're gonna talk about is vision.
Yes.
Because in a relationship, it's important to have the same vision, the
Yes.
same goal about faith, about purpose in life.
Yes.
Is very important, because as the Bible said in Amos 3 verse 3, can two work together unless they agree?
Right.
Because love isn't enough to carry a lifetime relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have the same vision,
Yes.
the same goal about life. For example, if your long-term goal doesn't align together, that might cause some problem in the
Yes.
future.
Yes.
This is very important first to love that person. Ask yourself those questions I talked about before, and then know if you and that person have the same vision.
Yes.
Yes. And the third point, you're gonna talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now the third point is one that is very, very important. Now you asked that question, can I see myself loving that person for a lifetime? Can we
Yes.
work together? Do we have the same vision, the same purpose, right? Now it's very important to seek God's will. Because like we said before, this is a very, very important decision. And it is one that, should not be taken lightly. You may say, oh, I have love for that person. I can see myself loving that person. And, we have the same vision about life. We see things the same way. That is not enough. That doesn't mean if all those things, you feel like those things align, that this is the person that you're supposed to be with. That is why it's so important to seek God's will. And it is one that requires for you to seek God's peace, to seek God's direction, And also, it's so important because sometimes in relationship, we go to God and we say, God, I met this person, may you bless relationship, help us to love each other. This is a prayer that you make in a marriage. You're not going to God to ask for validation.
Yes.
You go to God to ask for direction, to know His desire, His will for you and that person. Does He want you to be with that person for your entire life? Remember, God,
Yeah, exactly.
our
Because
relationship,
God
marriage,
already knows that person
right?
better than you.
You don't know the future.
Yeah,
You see
exactly.
those things now, but you don't know the future. God is one that knows the future. And as the Bible says, in the book of Proverbs, 3 verse 5 and 6, to trust in the Lord with all your heart, to lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways to acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. This is not a decision that you can make on your own. It's too big for you to risk it on feelings, on what you see. But it's one that requires you to really, really seek God. And it's a process. You may not get an answer right away, but it's a process of seeking God's will for that relationship, constant prayer, constantly asking Him, seeking His will for your relationship. I think that's very important. And now the last step, I think, which is step number 4, which is one that some people may skip because it is a hard step. It is not easy. And that step is surrender, right? Willing to accept God's answer or God's decision, even though it is not what you want. And I think that's why it's so important to not.
That's hard.
That's hard because
Yeah.
that's why I think it's so important to not, go so deep into a relationship and then asking God, is this person the one? Because sometimes when we're so deep, is that we already know what we want. God, I want you to say yes about that person. And if you say no, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And that's not right, because if you're asking God for His direction, for His guidance, you have to be willing, right? You have to be willing to accept whatever God says, because something might seem right in front of you, but God knows. And as the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 14, it says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end, right, leads to death. So you don't know the end. You don't know where something is leading you. That's why trust God. That's why you ask Him, because you trust Him. And as Christians, we have to trust that God knows and wants what is best for us. And that is why with a decision that big, this is a lifetime decision. Something that once you do it, there's no going back. So I need to make sure that I'm making the right decision. I have to seek God, but also accept what He said, even if it's not what I want. Because sometimes we go to God with that, we know what we want, and we want God to give us what we want.
Exactly.
We have to trust, right, that He knows what's best. And I'm going to accept. God, if you tell me yes, okay, yes, moving on. But if you tell me no, that's it. Because I know you know what's best. Yes.
Exactly. Sometimes we want God to give us the answer we want.
We want.
Yeah.
But we don't want His answer. So what's the point of praying if I'm not going to accept what God tells me,
Exactly,
right? I have to surrender. And
Exactly.
this is a process that requires for you to surrender.
Yeah.
Surrender, knowing that God knows what is best for you. Yes. So a little recap. So we talked about 4 things today that is very important when making that very important decision. The first one, which was
love,
right. Number 2 was
vision. You have to see if that person have the same vision.
Yes. Number 3 is seeking God's will, and number 4 is surrender. Right. Surrender. Accept whatever He tells you. So in the comment below, I want you guys to tell us, right, what step are you in? What step are you in right now in figuring out that question?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you have any other question or any other topic you want us to talk about, you can drop it in the comment section.
Yes.
And then don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Yes, and see you next week for another video. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, yeah. Sous le ciel doré, main dans la main, nos cœurs voyagent loin des lendemains. Le vent nous berce, la mer nous chante, chaque instant avec toi mon âme enchante. Bénida, c'est toi et moi pour toujours, dans ce rêve d'amour.